recording. Okay, welcome everyone to Pantheon of M. I am Ray.
I'm Evie.
So Evie, what is our show for this week?
Our show for this week is Captain America.
1979.
1979.
Right? That's right. Starring, who is it starring?
Rebel.
Oh, Reb Brown.
Reb Brown.
Yeah, he's like one of those. I guess he was a cult favorite back in the day. Like, because this is based on a TV series pilot or potential pilot for CBS.
Yeah.
So you saw this. What were before we even get into our thoughts, because this is a very special movie of Captain America. There was two parts to this. One that came out in January and another one that followed through in November of the same year. Okay, so let's do some outliers because I know you have strong opinions of it, and we want to keep this for the viewers at the end. So let's outline. Okay, so like, who is the villain in this movie?
A rich guy, I think, who wants to, I guess, be president.
You're right. It's a rich guy. He's an oil baron.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wants to make money. He's a thief. Kind of like Die Hard. Well, the whole point of Die Hard was they want to steal bear bonds or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
something like that. Yeah.
So this one, the villains is actually an oil baron. He has found a way to steal money in a way of gold bullions or gold.
Yeah.
And his whole point of the movie was him to make a neutron bomb.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So my other question would be: so in this version of Captain America, is he military?
Is Captain America military? No, he's not.
But he's ex-military.
Yeah, ex-military.
Okay, so he's an ex-Marine.
And he's just a wanderer, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't want to go back into the Marine life or serve his country. He just did his tour of duty or his service, and he's honorably discharged. This from as far as I got.
Yeah.
I understand. And he went to West Point Academy, military academy, and he wasn't very close to his father or knew much about his father.
Yeah,
according to the story. So again, this is in the 70s, so this is kind of an odd time. So where did you think I know this is gonna be kind of hard for you, but where do you think this movie does well?
Where do I think it does well?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess it kind of flows a little bit, you know. So it's, you can follow it for sure. You know. Other than that,
Well, like was the story like this? Did it make sense? Like, do you know, like when you're some films, like for instance, we watched together Underground 6.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Amazing action film. It's Michael Bay, which tells you all you need to know.
Exactly.
But the story wasn't really there. But it's just an amazing bunch of really cool action sequences.
Exactly.
Was this Captain America like that in terms of like you understood there's a plot and you understand where it was going? Was that clear to you in this one?
No.
No, really? Okay.
I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
No, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. How much of Captain America do you think, in this film?
I would say maybe 80%. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah.
I'm gonna say 10.
Okay.
No, 'cause it's an origin story, and he doesn't become Captain America until the very end.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Okay, that's what you mean. Okay.
But the story focuses on Reb Brown, Steve Rogers, and this is Steve Rogers in this version.
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't know the name of his father.
No.
Okay, so now let's describe. Okay, so in the actual comic books and in the original films, he's a military experiment, which is sort of the case here.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That sort of holds true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it's different here because his father was the original Captain America.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're correct.
And then his father was given the super steroid in this case, right? And so it wasn't and it was just basically they tailored the steroid to his genetics. So Steve was the only one who had the right genetic markers to inherit the skills and ability if he got the steroid.
Yeah,
and the steroid was called FLAG. Now, do you know what FLAG stood for?
No.
Full latent agility. So full latent ability gain. Right?
Okay.
Latent means like delayed, I guess.
Yeah.
But you have full potential. And the idea was to have the person as peak performance, like being 20 times stronger than the average man, and having all the skills and senses of what a peak human being could be. Right. Which was what the whole experiment initially was. Like he'd be like a top athlete in every aspect. Okay, so we have Reb Brown, we have Steve Forrest as the oil baron. His company was called Andreas Oil Company, and the reason why this oil company is like important, like at the time, is because oil was low at the time. Like this is during the OPEC crisis. This was actually the second OPEC crisis, where oil across the world was there wasn't any oil.
Right.
You couldn't find any gas in the gas stations at the time.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So they used the oil as the villains because it was something that was relevant to the time.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone was pretty upset because to go for your gas at the pumps, you may or may not get gas.
That's true.
And
yeah.
So so they picked that was the enemy. That was why that was chosen.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So what was your overall thoughts of it then?
Overall?
Yeah, just general.
It was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good to see, you know, where it all started. You know, and I think my first comic book was Captain America that I bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it was a good story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you had to follow it.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this movie?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah. You know, it's you know, if you're just at home, you know, and you want to just watch something, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I honestly didn't. When I saw it, I don't remember this movie as a kid growing up. Did you even remember this film in the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remembered this on video like years later. Do you have any fond memories of it? Or did it even? Did you recall anything from back then? Like how?
A little bit.
Were you excited? Like that's what I'm trying to get at.
No.
Really? Okay.
It was pretty good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool back then with the stunts and stuff, like him on the bike and yeah. But that's all I really remember.
Yeah, they really sold this as kind of like a lot of the main action was like stunts. It was like the Evil Knievel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Knievel was at the 70s, he was the number one go-to person in terms of like the theatrics and like he was before there was Jackie Chan or in terms of North American culture or the John Wick films. I mean, what was real and what was appealing to the mass audience was like Evil Knievel jumping over the Grand Canyon.
Exactly.
You have and he also had the same kind of suit as Captain America.
You're right.
Stars
he did. Yeah.
And
Stars and stripes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of. So I think that's what married the. I guess what you call the zeitgeist or the lexicon of what was in the minds of like young adult kids.
Right. Yeah.
So we looked at that as being the go-to a standard, and I think in that time set that was what it was about.
Yeah.
Was there any familiar faces in the show that registered to you?
No, just Reb Wilson.
Oh, Reb Brown.
Reb Brown.
Because Hurley, one of the villains, the henchman who gets caught or captured in the meatpacking scene.
Okay.
He's the guy from the A-Team.
Okay.
Like he's the one who was chasing the A-Team around.
Wow.
The military guy.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So that's that's one of the things I picked up. I'm like, where do I know this guy? And he's like, yeah, his name is Lance DeGault or Lance Legault. It's kind of a French name. Okay. But yeah, he was Bracken, I think, in the A-Team. I could be wrong with the name, but he was the one who always chased the A-Team from town to town wherever they were.
Right. Okay.
So that was so I'm like, that's a familiar face to me. And like, okay, and that's how I knew this is a TV like series driven. And also started Robin Mattson from daytime drama.
Okay.
I remember her from watching like I don't know. I think it was like Y&R or something like that back in the day, or Days or Santa Barbara. I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah. But she was a young actress at the time, and she played the daughter of one of the scientists.
Okay.
Okay. The villainy. I mean, this one has no real superhero villains in this one. There's no Red Skull. They don't have lower tier supervillains. It's just actual. The villains of today was more of a statement of today, like in the 1990s, Captain America. Right. The president was an environmentalist.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So this one, you have an environmental enemy too. You know, sure. And it was the Jimmy Carter era, so you had the neutron bomb because Carter vetoed that, and that was kind of an issue back then, a hot button issue. Right. You had the oil crisis, that was a hot button issue. So like, if you're wondering, because I know a lot of people who saw this didn't like the movie too much, and and I think the reason why is because they were hitting things that were hot button issues of the time. Okay. So if you're wondering like, why is he going? Why the villains are after him? Because even that was kind of strange. Did you understood like why they were after him specifically?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at it too. Because if I look at it too carefully, it was a little strange. Because you're like, they knew he was Captain. He'll be Captain America, and they tried to stop it
Yeah.
before he could happening. But they didn't want the formula. They wanted plans to the neutron bomb,
Right, yeah.
and it was just kind of like a MacGuffin. But would you? Okay, so like let's rate it now. So 1 to 10, what would you give it then?
Maybe a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because some of the action, story was okay, but
Right.
it was all right. There were a couple things that kind of I still didn't get. but
Right.
It was okay.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, we're going to end the podcast off.
We do have a website, don't we?
Yes, it'll be up shortly.
Yeah.
It's not fully developed, but once I think probably in the next couple of weeks we'll have something up and running, and then you can follow us or connect with us social media as well as the website, and we'll give you links to our different sites, both audio as well as some blogs.
Yes.
that we write. All right. So with that, I am Ray.
I'm Evie.
We'll see you next week.